Hey guys, welcome back to our English classroom. On Monday, we talked about signposts, this notice and note unit we're doing, and we said we stop and we notice and we note things when we see seven signposts, and we walk through each of those signposts. Today, we're going to zoom in on just one, the very first one, and this is a really fun one. It's called Contrasts and Contradictions. This is when you stop and you notice and you note when you're reading and a character says or does something that's the opposite, that contradicts what he's been saying or doing all along. And so when this happens, it means that the character's behaving or thinking in a way we don't expect. They change their behavior, their feeling, their beliefs, their thoughts, their actions. It's like, whoa, where did this come from? What are you talking about? How did this happen? An event in the story you're reading, an event happens. You're like, well, where did this event come from? I wasn't expecting this plot twist. There may also be a change in the scene or the setting changes. And you're like, whoa, why did the author put this contrast or contradiction into this story? And so when you see this signpost, you need to ask yourself, why is the character doing that? Why is the character doing that? Well, what are you talking about, Mr. Latin? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to give you an example here. Let me pull over to a video. And here's a video, favorite video of mine. This is from Despicable Me, the original one and the best. Despicable Me is about this scary guy named Gru, not Drew, Gru. And he's kind of like this villain, and he's always being mean. And then these three little girls come into his life, and he adopts them. And so the character of Gru is changing throughout the story. So let's watch this video. I'm going to pause it a couple times and talk about what we're seeing. And let's see if we can find the contrast or contradiction in this video clip.
Come on now, it's bedtime. Did you brush your teeth? Let me smell. Let me smell. You did not. Put on your PJs. Hold still. Okay, seriously, this is very bad. Time, right now. I'm not kidding around. I mean it.
But we're not tired.
Well, I am tired.
Will you read us a bedtime story?
Okay, let's pause right there for a minute and ask ourselves, what do we think Gru is going to say? He's annoyed, he's grumpy, he's a villain, and he doesn't like little girls. At least that's what he says. But we're trying to learn more about Gru. And so there's this option, this choice he's making. Is he going to say, yeah, I'll read you a story and be all kind of nice and happy? Or is he going to be like, no, I'm not going to read it? What would you expect to happen? And let's see what happens.
No.
Pretty please.
The physical appearance of the please makes no difference. It is still no, so go to sleep.
But we can't. We're all hyper.
And without a bedtime story, we'll just keep getting up and bugging you all night long.
So whatever else you thought about Gru up till now, he's saying, no, I'm not going to read it. So it kind of confirms that he's this like grumpy, villainous character, right? Well, let's watch what happens. They're arguing, they're begging, they're pleading, they're blackmailing.
Oh, fine. All right. Sleepy kittens. Sleepy kittens? What are these?
Puppets. You use them when you tell the story.
Okay, let's get this over with. Three little kittens love to play.
Clearly, he says, okay, let's get this over with. He's clearly not looking forward to this, doesn't want to do this, and he's fighting it. And that fits with his character as villainous. So far, no contrast or contradiction here. There's a contrast between the girls and him. But that's reasonable. Let's keep watching what Gru does.
Play. They had fun in the sun all day. Then their mother came out and said, time for kittens to go to bed. Wow, this is garbage. You actually like this?
Keep reading. Come on.
All right. Three little kittens started to bawl. Mommy, we're not tired at all. Their mother smiled and said with a purr, fine, but at least you should brush your fur.
Now you brush the fur.
This is literature? A 2-year-old could have written this. All right. 3 little kittens with fur all brushed said, "We can't sleep. We feel too rushed." Their
Now, there's a real contrast and contradiction here just in the visual. You have this grumpy old villain reading to young children and brushing the little kitty's fur. The contrast and contradiction between his grumpy, nasty exterior and the girls loving him and being kind. What does this tell you about him? What it tells me, why is the character doing this? It tells me that there's something in his heart that actually really wants to be loving and kind.
mother replied with a voice like silk, "Fine, but at least you should drink your milk."
Now make them drink the milk.
Oh, I don't like this book. This is going on forever. 3 little kittens with milk all gone rubbed their eyes and started to yawn. "We can't sleep. We can't even try." Then their mother sang a lullaby. "Good night, kittens. Close your eyes. Sleep in peace until you rise. Though while you sleep, we are apart. Your mommy loves you with all her heart." The end. Okay, good night.
So, there's a little video clip. We see the contrast and contradiction between Gru being this grumpy character and his heart kind of melting while the little girls fall asleep around him. And I love that contrast and contradiction because it gives me a glimpse into Gru and what his personality is like, what his character is like. We call this character development. The other thing we see here is he's like starting to fall in love with the girls and they're going to sleep and he's almost crying. And then he's like, "Okay, good night, go to bed." It's like you can see in the contrast and contradiction here, he's fighting something within himself. And so the contrast and contradiction signposts give us a glimpse into what Gru is feeling and what he's thinking.
What?
What about goodnight kisses?
No. There will be no kissing or hugging or kissing.
He's not gonna kiss us goodnight, Agnes.
I like him. He's nice.
But scary.
Like Santa.
He's nice but scary, like Santa. I love that clip. I hope you enjoyed it. Do you see what we're looking at for the contrast and contradictions? Do you see the picture that we get of Gru by seeing how he interacts with the girls? This is really important. Now, I'm going to give you a video to watch. You'll see it in the assignment, and I want you to tell me what the contrast and contradiction you see in the next video clip is. Thanks for tuning in. Reach out if you have any questions at all.